No, the left. Oh,
Since I'm now 30 years old, it's time to celebrate by reviewing a childhood classic, The Sims 2 for PlayStation 2. My very first experience with The Sims was a demo disc from PlayStation Underground magazine. Yes, there was once a thing called demos and magazines before the internet killed them both. I remember the demo fondly and begged my parents for it non-stop. Then one day, at a Best Buy, it was there for the PlayStation 2. Only $20, and my parents let me get it. They'd soon come to regret that decision as I played my games loud, and my dad thought it would be a good idea to hook up my TV to a stereo set so I could really rock to some Dynasty Warriors with high bass. Oh boy, did the floors shake in that trailer for quite some time. I would play The Sims 2 religiously on console, never caring for The Sims 1 on PC when a friend brought it over to install and play on my computer. I even got to play The Sims 2 and its Pets expansion pack on PC for my mom, since she used to do surveys for extra money. I absolutely hated The Sims 1 and The Sims 2 on PC. It looked and played completely different. Change. Different. Things a child does not like. Or conservatives.
Okay.
Enough talk. It's time to dive into this 19-year-old game and see if it's any good still. We'll begin with the story mode, which is just a bunch of random goals to complete and make your way through each lot, making friends, enemies, and lovers along the way. Or even get abducted by aliens, beating a chicken at checkers, getting to the top of a certain career, having objects of high value, and overall taking care of your motives along the way. It's nothing special, and I'm kinda disappointed after playing The Sims Bustin' Out and The Sims 1, where you had a more overarching plot like moving out of your mother's place and getting back at Malcolm Landgrab for taking yours and everyone else's stuff. So to play The Sims 2 for console and find it more basic like The Sims 4 goal events and active careers kind of hurts the joy of playing the game, but only slightly. The charm of everything and small stories within, like making a crazy old man and aliens get along, or helping a failing resort get back on its feet, helps a bit to hold your attention, but there's still no twist like in The Sims Bustin' Out for GBA, or a more active plot like in The Sims 2 for DS and PSP. Still, it's a fine addition, and you best start with it to unlock stuff and get used to how the game plays.
What's wrong with you?
Creating a sim is extremely basic with a small selection of clothing, accessories, hairs, facial hairs, and tattoos. You can use a slider to sculpt faces and body parts to a small extent, but you cannot change the overall appearance of the Sims. They'll always have the same faces and eyes. Skin tones are lacking, but you can make your Sims look alien if you want. Remember though, it's purely cosmetic. It wasn't until The Sims 3 Seasons that we get real aliens in the series. You can make male or female Sims only, and only young adults or older if you want them to look older with gray hair. In story mode, you can only create one Sim or two if you play the 2-player mode. In free mode, you can make up to 4 Sims. 4 Sims are the limit when it comes to living on one lot. You can have several more over at once on the lot, such as if you're throwing a party. More on gameplay later. Create a Sim is very basic and lacking options, but it's fine. Still, I do prefer busting out for console when it comes to the console Sim games. Time to move on to free mode, where we will make Charlie, Muda, and Asmon live together and see who will become gay first.
I'm sorry, what the f?
For the other option is free mode. In here, you can play any household that already exists or create a new one, and choose where they want to live from a small selection of 4 locations. 8 Rockpile Road, 14 Arbor Grove, 95 Largest Lane, and 87 Yamato Crest. My personal favorite for obviously weeb reasons. Once you move in, you just play The Sims as usual, without a story, and instead what you want. Only 2 of the locations come with houses by default, while the other 2 are empty lots. So it's time to discuss buy mode and build mode.
Each year, Rasta. Chauffeur. Oh! Restivore.
Oh, no! Granddad!
What the fuck?
Before The Sims 4 merged everything under build mode, The Sims had 2 separate modes, buy for furnishing and build for architecture. We'll start with building, because you gotta have a roof over your head if you want to have furniture. Well, not really, but still. Anyways, build mode is very basic. You place wall pieces, and once they close up, they form a room. You can't build basements or second floors, nor roofs, or use terrain tools. You can place plants and fences though. Placing flooring and wallpaper can be cumbersome, so you can just use a paint bucket to fill the rooms if you want an easier time. Placing windows lets light into the rooms, and doors are needed to enter and exit. And that's about it for build mode. Very simple, not much content or features. Make square room, fill it with stuff, and live. Basically The Sims 1. So let's talk about buy mode. In buy mode, you got all your typical furnishing. Kitchen appliances, plumbing, pointless decorations that look ugly and would be popular in a grandma house. And of course the gameplay objects that matter, such as hot tubs, arcade machines, bench press, chess, chicken checkers, surfing machine, bars, easels, genie lamp, spin the bottle, outdoor swing, computers, phones, TVs, fire alarm, burglar alarm, fire extinguisher, etc. You can only place a small selection of stuff though before you risk your fire meter getting higher, and once it reaches the top, it maxes out. The higher the amount, the more likely a random fire will break out and destroy your house. It might kill your sim. But this is really just the game's way of telling you you're placing too much stuff for the console/engine to handle. This is a limitation of the home and handheld console games. On PC, it's basically endless till it breaks the game, let alone your computer explodes into a Chernobyl. So it's time to move on to gameplay and other stuff.
In the history of forever, I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
The first thing you'll notice about the gameplay is you directly control the Sims, which is apparently controversial at the time, and many hated it, including the irrelevant mainstream media critics. I, however, enjoyed the direct control option. Yes, option. You can use the other point and click control scheme, if you want, by pressing the select button. I don't care for it, as it doesn't feel well with a controller, as I found out with The Sims 3 for console and the horrible console port of The Sims 4. Move around as your own sim, controlling the camera and directing their actions, like socializing. You get more up close and personal with social interactions, and they can either go well or backfire, like impressing an elderly woman with a vacuum balancing on your nose, and then smacking her in the head with it. Yeah, that's the most granny smashing I'll be getting today. Social interactions vary depending on the degree of your relationship, and even if you choose a positive one, doesn't mean it will work. Sometimes Sims just don't like sock puppets being pushed in their face, and they'll light them on fire. Or if your creativity is low, expect drawing a portrait to backfire. I won a woman over a bit with a portrait of her. Then I realized my sim drew a dog. I found even with maxed out charisma and a good mood, my sims still couldn't really easily win people over, and there's no cheats to increase relationships. So get ready to grind for hours on end, hoping to not get a tuna fish to the face, like it's Yakuza or Way of the Samurai or something. Seriously, the social interactions are a massive gamble. Even with good moods and high relations, you can completely destroy a relationship with a single interaction. It's kind of dumb, and I absolutely hate it. Not sure how I tolerated this back in the day. But then again, as a kid, I liked Bug Juice and thought Britney Spears was actually good. Little would I realize how wrong I was upon growing up. Outside of that, you got their motives. Everything is here, including the room and comfort needs. You tend to them like usual, but there's plenty of unique gameplay objects like a trampoline, chicken checkers, bench pressing, surfing machine, and more. You even got gardening here. Yes, before The Sims 2 had it with the Seasons expansion pack, we had it on console, and you could grow fruit off of a tree or vegetables from a planter. There's even a fish tank you can grow and harvest fish from to cook different meals. By having the ingredients, you can make food with little to no cost. You learn recipes by maxing out your cooking skill. This is a neat addition that made me want to rely more on my own ability to feed myself and less from the magical endless fridge. I saved lots of money in the long run. Jobs are the usual fade off the lot, but you of course get a carpool to show up. You cannot have children, nor can you age. You can die, but it's temporary, as your ghost sim can be controlled and have them come back to life by bribing the Grim Reaper who continuously hangs out on your lot until you revive. Or you can also beat him in a fiddle duel to win your life back. You can paint to make money, and of course you got bills in the newspaper still. The newspaper is only for jobs, unlike the PC version, which comes with more options like making a toy out of it, or crossword puzzle to increase logic skill. Anyways, that's just the gist of the game. I think this went on for far too long. Let's get to the score.
What is this, the start of an anime? Holy shit!
Overall, the game has held up quite well for being 19 years old now. Yes, 19 years old. I'm old. You're old. At least according to YouTube analytics, as my viewers are mid-20s to early 40s. Hey, you fellow boomers. Wanna go shake our fists at clouds and talk about Shrek and Skater Boy while wearing cut-up jeans and drinking Surge? Okay, jokes aside about being 30, yay. The Sims 2 for PlayStation 2 is still loads of fun, and thanks to emulation, can look better and play better with less lag and shorter load times, which is a good thing, because the game could be a nightmare on native hardware at times. I still recommend this great game, and whatever platform you play it on, it's a good game worth checking out, whether on PS2, GameCube, or Xbox. As for the GBA, DS, and PSP versions, well, those three are entirely different games, each being unique from each other, and one day I'll cover them all. Till then, check out my Sims 2 PSP review, or the many Sims 4 videos I've made, or other Sims 2 games I have covered, like the Sims 2 Castaway. That's it for this video. See you guys all later.